You're on the air.
Expect entry interface in 45 seconds.
I'd say that was a pretty successful broadcast.
There's too much interference.
I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Do you talk to Michael?
He's in the Middle East.
We face an enemy determined to bring death and suffering into our homes.
Hey, look at me, I'm popular.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NSS. This is the Reynolds Report. 3 more women came forward Wednesday in a press conference organized by Gloria Allred to accuse Bill Cosby of sexual assault. Linda Kirkpatrick, Lynn Neal, and Casey, no last name given there, all shared their similar stories, at times breaking down into tears. All say fears of retaliation prevented them from speaking out sooner. Kirkpatrick says she was drugged and assaulted in 1981 when she was 25 after playing in a tennis tournament against Cosby in Las Vegas. He invited her to his show after the tournament where he gave her a drink. He then allegedly assaulted her in his dressing room. Kirkpatrick says Cosby called her the next day to apologize and that he invited her back to his show. He allegedly assaulted her again that night using force instead of drugs. Lynn Neal says Cosby assaulted her sometime between 1982 and 1983 when she was in her 20s. She says he drugged and raped her at one of his shows as well. And Casey recalls that Cosby assaulted her while she was working as an assistant to one of his agents between 1990 and 1996. He invited her to lunch at his suite in an LA hotel one day where he allegedly forced her to take a large white pill. Casey says he asked her, "Would I give you anything that would hurt you?" She says after consuming the pill, she woke up to see him naked in bed beside her. She quit her job shortly thereafter. Meanwhile, filmmaker Judge Apatow is continuing to speak out against Bill Cosby. His latest series of tweets are aimed at not only Cosby, but his supporter and co-star Felicia Rashad. After weeks of remaining silent about Cosby's multiple rape allegations, the comedian's TV wife is providing support for her colleague. Apatow tweeted, "Felicia, how many women need to be raped before you realize he destroyed his own legacy? 40? 50? For me, it's 1. In her Tuesday statement, Rashad said, "Forget these women. What you're seeing is the destruction of a legacy. And I think it's orchestrated. I don't know why or who's doing it, but it's the legacy. And it's a legacy that is so important to the culture." Whoa. Hey, need another Apple gadget? A source says the Apple Watch may be released by the end of March. Apple plans to sell 3 versions of the Apple Watch: the Apple Watch Sport, and Apple Watch Edition, which will all have their own distinctive wristbands available for purchase. Apple says the most basic Apple Watch will cost $349. Hey, the People's Choice Awards were on the other night, and apparently it was this people's choice not to watch it. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have met the Pope. Asked what it was like to be in the presence of someone so close to the divine, the Pope was like, "It was awesome." Charlie Sheen has apologized for insulting Kim Kardashian on Twitter. Great. Now apologize for the last 100 episodes of your horrifically unwatchable sitcom. Movie attendance hit a 19-year low last year. It's getting really bad. Yesterday I saw a Sony exec holding a sign that said, "We'll capitulate to terrorists for food." Kim Jong-un turned 32 yesterday. His friends sang him his favorite song, for he's a jolly good fellow who can be denied, but only under penalty of death or banishment for life to a labor camp. Activists are planning to launch copies of The Interview into North Korea on balloons, where they will hopefully land in the yard of the one person in North Korea who actually owns a DVD player. The oldest of those considered Generation X will turn 50 this year. So don't be surprised when you pass one of those casino buses full of seniors and its blasting Smells Like Teen Spirit. A Florida Kmart shopper wearing a t-shirt reading, "I have drugs," was promptly arrested when cops found him holding a bag of meth. Though in his defense, you try surviving a trip to a Florida Kmart without any meth. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is being criticized for accepting free airfare and hanging out in the owner's box for a Dallas Cowboys game. He's also under fire for hogging all the nachos. And the University of Virginia is now employing sober monitors to ensure no one drinks at frat parties, which explains why the school just changed their official motto to University of Virginia, proud home of the lamest frat parties ever. Thanks, everybody. We have a new episode of The Reynolds Report for you every weekday. Be sure to check out the Being Frank Show starring Frank D'Angelo, live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern here on NSS.